In 1945, a year after Eva had moved in with Peron, she woke up to a chilling sight. Peron's political opponents were taking him into custody. They feared his rising popularity, with the president himself worrying that Peron would overthrow him. Supposedly, Peron's political opponents lost their cool when he hired a friend of Eva's to become his Secretary of Communications. Clearly, Eva had too much of a say in state affairs, and those in power wanted to put a stop to it. But they didn't realise who they were up against. After his release, Peron decided to make a bid for presidency. Eva seized her chance and told him that she didn't want his career to suffer because of their relationship. Peron took the hint and asked her to marry him. Argentinian society couldn't frown on their relationship if things were official. After a discreet civil ceremony in October 1945 and a church wedding in December, Peron started campaigning in earnest. Eva was beside him every step of the way. She appealed to people on her radio show, highlighting her own impoverished background to connect to them and convince them that Peron was their saviour. While it offended the wealthy and more established Argentinians to see Eva alongside Peron during his campaign, the working classes loved it. She was a passionate speaker, able to convince the lower classes, known as descamisados or shirtless ones, that she knew what it was like to be poor and that she was truly dedicated to helping them. It was during one of these speeches that she asked them to call her Evita, a Spanish nickname that means Little Eva. Either because of Evita's appeal or his own popularity, Juan Perón won the presidential election by a landslide, silencing his opponents and naysayers in one fell swoop. The couple moved to the presidential mansion in Avenida Alvear, the poshest area in Buenos Aires. When Francisco Franco, the Spanish head of state, invited Eva to visit him, she was only too happy to comply. Unfortunately, this was a bad move. Franco was an unabashed fascist. Other nations refused to sanction his rule with official visits. Clearly, Eva disagreed. The Argentinian government didn't want to offend the United States or want the UN to think they were sympathetic to Franco's dictatorship, so they decided to rebrand Eva's visit as non-political. Either as a cover or as part of a genuine goodwill tour, she also visited other countries after her trip to Spain. She was shown great hospitality in Spain, Rome and France, and she responded in kind. She gave out money to poor children in Spain, met the Pope in Rome, and promised France 2 shipments of wheat. However, the British royal family sent a missive stating they couldn't meet her, and the Swiss pelted her with stones and tomatoes. It's said that Peron asked his wife not to wear the expensive outfits she'd worn in Europe, as the luxurious dresses might alienate her from her impoverished supporters back home. Eva being Eva, she continued to wear what she wanted. She even gave a speech about how the shirtless ones could rise from poverty like her if they continued to support Peron. From Argentinian-designed elaborate gowns and complicated hairdos, Eva moved towards simpler, more sophisticated Parisian couture by the likes of Christian Dior. Eva decided she wanted to do more than just look pretty and support her husband in his campaigns. She unofficially took over the health and labour ministries, devoting time to poor and sick Argentinians.